Hey guys, so I wanted to outline some of my recent troubles with the Jumper TX Pro or Plus model. I'm not even sure which is which anymore, but this is the earlier model. I got it in August with the Hall Effect gimbals and the external 4-in-1 module. I did purchase the internal 4-in-1 so that way I can use the R9 system with external. They both worked great. I was able to test this on a couple of new builds. However, I have not yet done a maiden flight, but I was able to bind and test the motors that they did respond to this. Okay, so the issue that I'm having is related to this RTN button, return, I would assume it stands for. For some reason, after yesterday, or sometime during yesterday, it started performing the same as a system or SYS button. They're one and the same as far as this radio goes. I'm not sure what changed and how I can fix it. I flashed both the latest Jumper TX firmware and the latest OpenTX firmware, vice versa. I've also formatted the SD card several times. I've also replaced the content of the SD card several times with the content from OpenTX organization as well as the Jumper TX website. I'm not sure how to factory reset this remote. I'm not sure if there's something I did in the menus on accident or if there's something that I did that caused it. But from this point on, I'll show you my experience.
Welcome to OpenTX.
It makes the radio largely unusable without having a return button. Certain menu systems, when you go into them, you can no longer back out and get back to the home screen. So I'll give you an example. If I click on any of these and you want to back out of this, it does not work. I'm not sure why, but I'll demonstrate that the button is functional because when I get the warning,
Welcome to OpenTX.
if I tap this button, it'll allow me into the menu. So it does work. I actually broke down the remote here. I removed this module. There's 3 screws here, 2 longer ones on the top, 1 shorter one on the bottom. Removed it. I removed the roller wheel and inspected the elements. Everything looked good. I didn't see anything prohibiting the function of this button. I also reseated the ribbon on both ends. I inspected the ribbon. It also looked without damage. Not sure what changed there, but so let me show you something else as well. So this button, return button, is now acting the same as a system, and I'll demonstrate.
Welcome to OpenTX.
So once you're at the main screen here, if you press and hold system, you'll be given this menu, radio setup. Now, if I continue to press this, or even hold it, this is what happens here, okay? And that's standard function from best I can tell. So let me reboot, and I'll show you the exact same thing using the return button. So these two buttons are acting the same now. I'm not sure why. Okay, press and hold RTN. I'm brought back to radio setup. If I depress it, and if I long hold it. I'm not sure how to factory reset. If you guys have any ideas how I can resolve this, greatly appreciate it. I've been trying to fly since July. I've built 6 or 7 quads now, and embarrassingly, I've only flown about 4 different times because of issues after issues. So I'm hoping somebody out there has some advice that can get me back in the air. Otherwise, I'm grounded like the Boeing 737 MAX. I did try a few other things. I did go online and attempted to look for replacement ribbons. And then I had the idea, I have plenty of ribbons already in here, so at least for a testing perspective. I did get a suggestion from a user, I'll post it right here, that suggested reversing the ribbon here, and it said it resolved this issue. So I did try that, and it did not work, unfortunately. What I did do was I also took this side. I knew this side was functioning properly from these buttons to this control board. So I did take the ribbon from this side and replace it over here. I'm still getting the same experience. So I think I've isolated the issue to not being the roll wheel or the button here. The button does function, but I'm thinking it's the board here that is misinterpreting the signal coming in. So this part may be bad. The ribbon I've isolated, I know that's not bad. I know this is not bad. This is also not bad. So the last thing I'm looking at now is probably this board. I'm not sure if this is a daughter board or motherboard. Probably the daughter board because the CPU is here. But I guess that's my next step. I'm hoping this helps somebody else out there that's also troubleshooting. and is looking for some resolution on their radio. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about my quads. Number one, I have the Schizo Nova clone. It's 5 inches. I have the CL Racing F4S flight controller and Racer Star motors. It's my first build. Cut me a little slack. Number two, Team Black Sheep Source One V3, another 5 inch. I have the Flight One Schizo flight controller and Emax Eco motors. It has not yet had a maiden flight, as 3 of the floor ESCs are bad and I'm waiting for new ones to arrive. Number 3, iFlight IX2 Lite V3. It's 2.5 inch. It crashed and burned trying to do a trick. It didn't work out. Let me know if you want me to throw a video together of that. Number 4, Impulse RC Apex 5 inch frame. I have the Lumineer F7 flight controller and all white PCB Lumineer electronics. For the motors, I selected the Mr. Steel Silky V3s. This was my first build using a PDB, so it's still under construction. I was asked to show the LEDs of the ESCs, and I forgot I had a short in the system, so I connected the battery without a smoke stopper. Needless to say, I have to strip it down and test every single part, see what's still good. Number 5, Catalyst Machine Works Banggood 5 inch. The rear brace and other 3D printed parts are soon arriving. I don't have any electronics yet. Number 6, the HDL RC Aero 3 Hybrid. This is a 3 inch. I salvaged the electronics from the wrecked IX2 frame and placed them in here and combined it with 1408 Emax motors. It has not yet had the maiden flight because of the current radio issues. Number 7, another Schizo Nova clone. It's just a parts frame, nothing more, nothing less. I assemble it solely for wall art. Happy flying!